Hey people, how you all doing? Today, we'll be taking a look at our very first Xbox video. I know, shocking, but I think it's something that needs to be said as it's getting pretty fucking bad. But with that being said, hope you've all had a good day, and let's get started. This video will not be criticizing or really attacking anyone besides Xbox itself. So, there aren't really many fanboys, but I can assure you the fanboy reactions to this would be pretty interesting to say the least. So, maybe there will be a follow-up video. Yes, I know your biggest question when you click on this video. Why do I keep using the same thumbnail? Because you keep clicking on the video and I find it funny. So let's get started. This is something that we need to talk about going forward if I'm going to talk about fanboys, as Xbox isn't doing too well. And on top of that, I spent most of my time on Xbox until the last 2 years, where I started playing more and more on PC to the point where I only play on PC now. And I do not regret my change. So let's get started with the problem that really opened my eyes to the Xbox platform and how performance is in general with this platform. So let's get started by reading the tweet from Redfall. Redfall is launching on all consoles with a quality mode only. For Xbox Series X, that is 4K 30 FPS. For Series S, it is 140p 30 FPS. A 60 FPS performance mode will be coming at a later date. As you can see, for a new gen console, this is unacceptable. We should be nowhere near 30 FPS. It genuinely surprises me that even after all this time and flexing from both Sony and Xbox, that this will be the end of 30 FPS. We continue to keep games on it. Yes, do not get me wrong, Sony has not done this yet, but I can guarantee at some point they will eventually do it because of just shitty optimization to a game. People on Twitter keep thinking that this is the Series X's fault. No, it is the optimization and the tools that are given to the developers to optimize the game that make this an extremely hard process. People that don't realize that are a bit special. If you wish to point any fingers at anyone because of this situation, it would be Xbox and Bethesda. First, with Xbox, it would be their optimization and policies behind game development. For example, they take a very offhands approach. Compare that to Sony, that will always be hands-on. The only thing that Xbox cares about with their games is that there is a beginning, middle, and end, and it will be able to reach that deadline that they've set for the release date. And Bethesda's problem would be quality assurance with their products. For example, we will probably see a really shit quality from Redfall and Starfield, but don't get me wrong, both are being made by separate teams that work with different engines. And this is not just a problem with Bethesda, it is with Xbox as a whole, as I've said a little bit earlier, as any game we could give a recent example to would be Halo Infinite. So, with my schizophrenic rambling out of the way, let's go take a look at a thread that was brought to my attention by PlayStation fanboys. Okay, let's get started. Opinion: Microsoft needs to care to not make Xbox console owners look like second-class citizens right now. Redfall not supporting 60 FPS at launch after being shown running at that frame rate in basically every gameplay trailer is just the icing on the cake. Honestly, that is genuinely rough to see that in every promotional that they will put it at 60 FPS. That is rough, because at the end of the day, if people really want to take it that way, you're pretty much lying to the consumer. And honestly, it should not even be anywhere at 30. Every game that should be releasing should be at 60 FPS. We're past the time of 30 FPS, there is no need for it to not be 60. So let's move on to the next one, shall we? Xbox has been open about expanding to PC and mobile for years. PC Game Pass in particular is seeing a large push. Microsoft even develops first-party games skipping the console at launch. Flight Sim, Age of Empires are a history untold, for a premier PC experience leaving the console behind. Honestly, one of the biggest problems with Xbox is that they spoke up about this platform being the greatest it will ever be. This will be the most strongest console, that this will be the top of what we were all waiting for. And yet they have nothing to show for it. Infinite didn't do anything. Infinite didn't even look that impressive. And any other game that they've tried to release has not kept that same energy when going up to this high standard they spoke about. Now, I'm only going to read like 2 more, as this does go on for a bit longer and it'll take up most of the video. So, the Activision Blizzard acquisition openly also isn't that much about the console business itself. Microsoft is particularly interested in King to expand to the mobile market and Blizzard to allow further growth on the PC. That's totally understandable as long as your core fan base has a great experience. And I could not agree more. Especially abandoning the Xbox, even though as much as it would be somewhat of a smart idea to move straight onto PC and mobile and become purely subscription-based, that would make them a lot of money. I don't think most people realize how big the mobile market really is, but that is coming at a cost of the console, the Xbox itself, getting a lesser experience from games. Example, Redfall, Starfield, Halo Infinite, many of these other games are getting fucked over. And once this deal goes through, Xbox will be making more money than they'll ever be able to get from any console or any single platform. But at the same time, this will give Game Pass even more value. Imagine having Call of Duty on there, especially all of them. I mean, Game Pass really does need the value. There's no reason to really own it right now. If you want to read through all of this again, just go back and watch it through the video. I genuinely do suck at reading, so, you know, my slow ass. Alright, let's get started. 343 Industries and Halo. Literally, the symbol of Xbox got hit the hardest by Microsoft's layoffs. The fate of a new Halo campaign is unknown right now. There should have been more communication by the leadership on Xbox's premier IP here. Honestly, I cannot agree more. If Microsoft is willing to let Halo suffer, who knows what they will do to any other franchise. Do any of you remember Fable? I sure want to see like a 4th game of that. I enjoyed Fable. I fucking love it. And there's nothing going on about that, at least not to my knowledge. Honestly, I'm thankful I moved to PC in the last 2 years, because now I get to play both platforms' games, and now there's no point for me to really own a console anymore because of that. But don't get me started on emulation, that just gets even better. I can play the games from my fucking childhood now. That's really all I wanted to talk about, as I'm an Xbox fan, and I think this would just be something that would be necessary for me to talk about as a longtime fan. So, I'll leave it there. Leave a like, subscribe, join my Discord. I'll see you all later. Take care, and hopefully I'll find some salt for a video.